Okay, what if I told you that your body has its own built-in cleaning crew, a team that can fight aging and seriously boost your health? Well, today we're going to dive into a top scientist framework for doing exactly that. It's a simple guide to flipping the switch on your body's most powerful self-repair system, and it really all starts with one key question. So, how do we get our bodies to start cleaning house? Clearing out all that old, damaged junk that just kind of builds up over time. The key isn't some magic pill. It's actually a really powerful biological process that you can learn to switch on all by yourself. And that process is called autophagy. It literally means self-eating. Now, don't let that freak you out. Just think of it like a deep clean for your cells. It's your body's natural, fundamental survival mode for recycling old, worn-out parts into fresh fuel and building blocks for new, healthy cells. Pretty cool, right? So, the big question is, how do we turn this incredible system on? Well, the most powerful tool we have is fasting. And listen, don't worry, this isn't about anything extreme. We're going to start with a few simple, totally manageable first steps. The advice here is super important. Start slow. Seriously, for the first week, just try skipping breakfast. If you feel like you need it, have a small snack mid-morning. No big deal. The whole goal is to gradually stretch out your fasting window over a couple of weeks until you're comfortably hitting that 14 to 16-hour mark most days. It's all about a gentle adaptation, not shocking your system. So it turns out there are different levels to this whole cleaning thing. A daily 14 to 16-hour fast, that's great for your routine maintenance. It switches on your longevity genes, these things called sirtuins, and it boosts NAD, which is a crucial molecule for energy in your cells. But if you want that true deep clean, that serious cellular recycling, you've got to go a step further with an extended fast. So what's actually going on inside your body during, say, a 3-day fast? Well, in the first 12 hours or so, you burn through all the sugars stored in your liver. Then, after about 15 hours, your body starts making these things called ketones. This is often when people report incredible mental clarity. But the real magic, the deep clean, that kicks in around day 3. That's when your body really starts breaking down old proteins for fuel, firing up that incredible cellular cleaning process. Of course, it's not just about when you don't eat. What you eat when you do eat is just as important. So let's shift gears and tackle some of the common myths floating around about popular diets. All right, here's a big one. The keto diet is everywhere, right? It's super popular for weight loss and even some cognitive benefits. But the real question is, does staying in ketos long-term actually help you live longer? According to the scientist whose work we're looking at, the evidence points to a pretty clear no. While keto might be useful for short-term goals, it's probably not the path to a longer life. And the reason is crucial. A long-term keto diet often misses out on these unique protective molecules that are found almost exclusively in plants. So instead, the evidence really seems to point towards a diet that's focused on plants. In fact, the scientist behind this whole framework completely flipped his own eating habits. He used to think a meal wasn't a meal without meat, but now he eats a diet that's mostly plant-centric, full of fresh and minimally processed foods. And speaking of myths, what about red wine? For years, we all heard that a daily glass was healthy. The scientist himself used to believe this, but he's totally reversed his position based on new evidence. A huge study in the UK actually linked even one drink a day to negative changes in brain size. It turns out the benefits we thought came from red wine don't come from the alcohol at all, but from powerful molecules in the grapes called polyphenols. And that brings us to the real secret behind a longevity diet. It's not just about eating your veggies, it's about eating the right kind of veggies. And believe it or not, that means eating plants that have gone through a little bit of stress. There's a scientific term for this. It's called xenohormesis. And the idea is actually pretty simple. When plants get stressed out, from too much sun, not enough water, that kind of thing, they create these colorful defensive molecules. These are the polyphenols. And get this, when we eat these stressed out plants, those amazing protective molecules actually activate our own cellular defense systems. Here's a really great way to think about all this. Picture your body's longevity defense system as a high-performance engine. To run at its best, it needs 2 key things. First, you need the fuel. The fuel for this engine is a molecule called NAD, and our bodies naturally make more of it when we fast and exercise. But to really get that engine roaring, you need an accelerator. And that accelerator is the polyphenols from those stressed plants. They don't just add fuel, they basically put the pedal to the metal on your body's defenses. All right, so what should you actually be putting on your plate? Here are some fantastic choices. Blueberries are absolutely packed with those colorful polyphenols. Avocados give you healthy fats to help reduce inflammation. Good olive oil helps fire up those longevity genes. And yeah, even Brussels sprouts, that kind of distinctive smell they have, it comes from a compound called sulforaphane, which is incredible for activating our body's stress response pathways.
Okay, wow. We've covered a lot, from fasting to stressed out plants. So now let's pull it all together into a simple, actionable toolkit you can start using right away.
So here are the key takeaways. Start with that daily 14 to 16-hour fast. For a deeper reset, maybe think about a 3-day fast every now and then. Shift your diet to be more plant-focused. And remember to eat the rainbow to get all those good polyphenols. Try to cut back on sugar and alcohol. And here's a great pro tip. Think about swapping your coffee for unsweetened matcha. The tea plants are shaded before harvest, which stresses them out and really boosts their polyphenol content. This quote right here really gets to the heart of the whole philosophy. It's about getting ahead of disease, not just waiting around to treat it. As an example, the scientist himself started taking statins for his cholesterol way back when he was 30, long before it ever became a problem. The whole goal is to be proactive, not reactive. And really, that just leaves us with one final thought. We have the tools, we have the knowledge to actually influence our own health and longevity, and we can start today. So the only question left is, why would we wait?